Well, hello everyone. This is Buckeye Bart, and I am. If you've seen this looks a little familiar to you. I am at the Ohio Podcast, and Eric doesn't know this, but I came over here to give him a gift, and Sarah let me upstairs, so I got on his computer, and I am doing a podcast for you all. I know everybody wants me to do this rather than Eric because I have a better personality. I know a lot more about Ohio State than he does, and really overall, people just enjoy me a lot better than he does. So I don't want him to know that I am up here doing this, and yeah, we're gonna have some fun. Actually, learn about Ohio State. Um, and just delve into everything that's going on with today. Eric doesn't give you a lot. Oh, hey,
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 Brad,
Eric.
what are you doing in here?
Okay, he's here. He's here. Okay. No, I'm not doing anything.
What is this?
I'm not doing anything right now.
What is
Okay.
going
Okay.
on?
Sorry, Eric. I was just trying to get these people on the podcast to say how great you were and that I was just starting the computer for you and everything. But okay, people, your podcast there you wanted always wanted is here, and here's Eric. Sorry. Here you go. Sorry.
What in the world? Bart, what are you doing? How'd you even get into my house? What is going on, people?
It was at this moment Eric realized that he should have never given Bart his address, and that the OHIO podcast would never be the same again.
Well, first of all, Eric, your wife let me in.
Oh,
well,
she's very kind.
She is very, but almost too kind because I had ill intentions and he let me up here. So, sorry, people. He will give you the high state news you need. Thank you.
Bart, everybody. Bart?
Oh my gosh, that was awesome. I can't believe your wife let me in.
How did you like my little extra there?
The Australian accent and everything. It's like
It was at this point Eric realized. Hey, everybody, welcome into the OHIO podcast. That's Bart. That's Corey. That's Chris. I'm Eric. It's good to have all of you with us. Make sure you smash that like button if you're listening to this. This is episode, I believe, 651 on the audio side. Go ahead and give us a 5-star review if you don't mind. That'll help out the channel and the audio podcast as well so that you can get our podcast in the earbuds of more Ohio State fans just like you. We are the official Ohio State podcast of the College Huddle. Head on over to thecollegehuddle.com where you can find us and 87 other independent podcasts from coast to coast. Tonight's episode is brought to you by MyBookie. That's right. Go over to MyBookie. Use the promo code OHIO. It's that simple, and you get $500 of bet back insurance from MyBookie simply by putting in the promo code Ohio. Today's episode is also brought to you by A Place at Home Senior Care. If you have a loved one recovering from a stroke, maybe a fall, a hospitalization, maybe they have dementia, they could use a little extra help at home with bathing, dressing, mobility, medication reminders, etc. aplaceathome.com/Dublin is the site you need to go to. Again, aplaceathome.com/Dublin, or you can just give them a phone call, 740-472-8181. It has been a wild week here at the OHIO podcast and in college football. We are just, 72 hours away from kicking off in the Cotton Bowl New Year's Eve night. This will be our last Sunday night in 2025. When we meet again next Sunday night, boys, hopefully it will be a victory night to wrap up 2025, and we'll be looking ahead to 2026 in either Georgia or Ole Miss in the Final Four of the college football playoff. Guys, before we dive into Miami, and that's what the majority of this show is going to be, we need to talk a little bit about our friendly neighbors to the north. My gosh, their fan base is they are so annoying. I want to tear into them so bad tonight. I have been working on an episode of the 5 dumbest things Michigan fans believe. I don't want to give it all tonight because it's going to be a very good episode. But every time we post anything about them, they are all over the comment section, the messages, social media. They are all up in their feelings right now as Michigan fans. They are flying high because Kyle Wittingham is their new coach. I want to get your guys' reaction to that. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the assistants he's bringing in. We'll start with you, Bart, since this is now officially your show. I'll start with you. We'll go clockwise tonight. Go ahead, Bart.
I think Michigan fans overall, they're giddy because they're relevant again. That people are talking about Michigan that they wouldn't be talking about right now. I like the Wittingham hire. I wish I disliked him a little bit more, but it's going to take a year or two for them to get back on track. And Kyle's going to want to run his style of offense. I don't think they have the personnel for his style of offense right now. And it's going to take, when we had the defensive coordinator, well, used to be Penn State, it took him a year to bring a new defense in here. It's going to take them a while. But their first order of business is keeping their players, their portal, and even keeping some of their recruits. I like the hire for them because I think it'll bring respectability back to their program. It's going to take a little while. I don't hate the guy, and that's what I hate the most about it because every coach I've ever had, I've disliked. I will learn to dislike him, I'm pretty sure, pretty easy. But the Michigan base is actually saying that when Kyle said he was done with Utah, he told his agent that the first call he needs to make is to Michigan because that's what he quit for is because of the Michigan gig. It's just ridiculous, but yeah, it is what it is. I think it's a good hire for him, but I think it did set it back at least 2 or 3 years to becoming relevant again.
Go ahead, Corey.
I like the hire, honestly. I think it's a good hire. Dillingham would have been the best hire, I think, but Kyle is a good hire. I'm going to put that out there right now. And again, he's 66, but he looks like he's 55, and he has the energy to. I mean, they signed him to a 5-year contract. I thought, really, but then you see, he's probably got the energy to go 5-6 years if he's successful. I don't know that he'll be successful at Michigan. I have no idea, but I think on paper right now, it's a good hire. That being said, I do find it absolutely hilarious that they hire a coach who's respectable, widely regarded as a good head coach in college football. Probably much better hire than Sharon Moore was. Let's be perfectly real on that one. And yet all they can do is talk about us. That seems to be all I see on Twitter. Terrified Ryan Day. Buckeyes are scared. Scared of what? He fits your culture to a point that it's probably, I mean, well, not the scandalous part of your culture, but what you want to be in that run game and hard nosed defense culture, to probably to a fault, if anything, because you got to learn to adapt with the college game. He doesn't necessarily love NIL. I don't know how his portal history is, but I don't think he's really embraced the new standard of college football. He was definitely losing his touch at Utah. I don't know how good he still is or if the game's passed him by. I do find it funny that Urban Meyer's 2 proteges are now coaching in the game. That's a little interesting. I didn't ever expected one to be at Michigan, but it is what it is. It's honestly also a good hire in the sense that, like Bart was saying, it's a clean look for the program. And man, that program hates Biff at this point after he nuked him on the Texas podcast, but everything he said was true, whether they like it or not. Um, so I don't know. It probably came after a conversation they had with him saying, "You are not in line to be the head guy. You're just keep just keeping the ship going at the moment. We're getting somebody else." And he said, "Screw it. I'm going to go say what I want to say." But I don't. I think it's a good hire. But it doesn't scare me. It's just a good hire.
You're muted.
That's the best. Hey, you know I'm taking over the show now, don't you, Eric? I muted Chris, so I'm in charge now. So
Still nothing. We don't have your volume. Well, Chris is trying to figure that out. Let me get the super chat. $10 super chat for Ryan Day's championship beard. Did you see his presser? They asked if he dislikes Ohio State. He said, "I do now, I guess." Then went on to talk about his friendship with Urban Meyer. That doesn't sound like hate to me. Thank you for the $10 super chat, RDCB. No, it sure doesn't sound like hate. And here's the thing. I agree with both of you. It's a safe hire. It's a good hire. He's a likable guy. He brings respect back to their program, which is what we've been asking for when it comes to this rivalry as Ohio State fans, is just be respectable. He does all of those things that I like. But I'm going to stick to my guns. He's a bridge. A bridge to what? They don't know yet. And that's the problem. And that's the problem for them. Can they figure it out in 5 years? Let's see what they do with Ward Manuel first before we try to answer that question. But as far as all the fans who are in our mentions, who are in our chat, who are in our comment section whenever we post anything, specifically on Facebook, on our shorts, those things are running anywhere from 50 to 150,000 views and 100 plus comments, and the majority of them are Michigan people who get so offended by anything we say. They disagree with everything. So apparently he was their first and only offer, guys, according to them. Bull crap. These people have no idea. Like, literally, there is an agency who goes out and talks to agents and asks them what they're interested in. And if they're interested, they bring them in for an interview. And that's how they set it up. They were rejected multiple times. Okay? So, we didn't offer. Because you couldn't offer somebody who said no thank you to your program, bro. Okay? My gosh, the ignorance of these people sometimes absolutely kills me, man. Chris.
You know, you mentioned it. They wanted DeBoer. He wasn't coming. They wanted Dillingham. He wasn't coming. Let me tell you something. Kyle Wittingham may not be the coach they wanted. He's the coach they needed. 100%. He is that coach. And this this hire for the Wolverines, to me, it's genius. It really is in a sense, because they are doubling down. They are saying, we know who we are, and we're going to keep being that team. Corey mentioned it. Own the line of scrimmage, run the ball, tough defense. That's what this guy is. That's what they want to be. And more than anything, and Eric, you kind of touched on this, they get an adult. Mm-hmm. For the first time in over a decade, an adult is at the helm of the Michigan football program. And that's what they needed. And I'm going to agree with you guys. From a Michigan standpoint, this is a great hire. From a league standpoint, a national standpoint, I hate admitting it, but it's a great hire. They actually get to stay relevant because of Kyle Wittingham. They're going to be in the news for something other than scandal because of Kyle Wittingham. The Big Ten office has to love this. Our TV partners are going to have to love this. And as an Ohio State fan, because let's pretend this isn't a real part of the conversation. Let's not even pretend that for a second. Wittingham going to Michigan makes the rivalry interesting again. It gives back some of the respectability. It gives back some of the honor to the rivalry. And more than anything, it's going to make Ryan Day have to step up his game to keep winning. Because Kyle Wittingham is not just going to lay down for Ohio State because they're Ohio State, despite what Ohio State did to Utah and when Emeka Buka, or not a Buka, Jackson Smith and Jigba went off on him for a career day. He's not just going to lay down. I'm telling you, this is a good hire. He is a good coach. But like you said, Eric, I don't know that he makes it to 5 years. I don't know if he makes it 3 years. But either way, he's just a Band-Aid on the wound until they hire that next coach. And a big part of that is, a big part of his success is going to be based on, is Ward Manuel still there? Because as much good as he brings to the program, if you leave Ward Manuel there, the poison is still there.
All right, so there's been an announcement on some of the coaches who are coming with him. Let's start with his offensive coordinator, who is coming with him from Utah, and that is Jason Beck. Jason Beck was offensive coordinator there at Utah for only one season. He's been a coach since 2007. His playing career included a 2004 through 2006 stint with BYU. Then he became a GA at BYU upon graduation in 2007. He spent time at LSU, Weber State, back to BYU as a quarterback coach, then Virginia, Syracuse, New Mexico, back to Utah. And this is going to be the guy who's going to be running his offense there in Michigan. They love this hire up there in A2, as they call it now. I guess that's the new thing, is they are A2. I actually am going to be calling it A3. It's not Ann Arbor. It's Ann Arbor's hole. So that's an A3 for all of you. That's what I'm calling it from here on out. But Jason Beck is their dude. And I look at this guy and I'm like, oh, he had a decent year first year as an OC there in Utah after being an OC at Syracuse for a year, 1 year at New Mexico. It's not like this guy is the world's greatest offensive coordinator. It's not. He had a good year. He had a really, really good year. But it's not like this guy's won national championships, is the greatest coordinator of all time, or is got some kind of sterling reputation from the NFL, okay? So let's start with him. Jason Beck, OC at Michigan. What do you think about that, Bart?
Well, I'm not scared of him. First of all, he has not called plays against a Big Ten defense or an SEC defense. How fast our linemen are, our linebackers are. He's going to get a rude awakening right off the bat. I think he's going to do fine, but I go back to my point is when you bring somebody new in, offensive, defensive coordinator, you have to get your players. You have to put a new system in. They're not going to run the same system they did last year. I don't think they can win with Bryce Underwood. But I'm not too worried about him. And if I am, then I'm not a real Ohio State fan because I think we will beat them every year as we should. I think he'll do fine, but I still think it's going to take a year or two to get him the players that they need and the philosophy they have. And the one point I'm going to make is I don't expect Wittingham to put up with the stuff that in the last, let's say, 3 or 4 or 5 years that Michigan does every game against us. The after play pushing, the bullying, the cheating, whatever. I think we're going to actually have a football game against 2 football teams that don't like each other, but just play football. And that's what I guess I'm looking for the most with these hires.
Corey?
Yeah, I mean he's a solid he seems like a solid up and comer. Again, doesn't scare me. Look what he did against Texas Tech, like the one defense they have in that conference, essentially. You know, he doesn't come from a conference known for defense. In Texas, that's why Texas Tech, I think, even stands out even more, is because of how nasty they are. But um, young guy, okay, great. But here's the point: I don't know how good or bad he'll be at Michigan. I have no earthly idea. He can't be any worse than what Sharon Moore had. But that being said, uh, they could have hired, Ronald McDonald, and they'd have thought it was the greatest hire ever. I mean, it just doesn't really matter.
Nobody could put fries in a Happy Meal better than Ronald McDonald.
It's like I couldn't care less if they were happy about it. I mean, right now they're excited because they got a new beginning. That's what happens when you have new coaches and a team. I mean, even when Ryan Day was hired, or no, a better example, when Urban Meyer was first hired, I thought it was the greatest staff ever assembled. Just because I was like, wow, everybody is just brilliant. And you read it, and then you get into this thing where you start reading about them online, and everything's positive. And you're like, even if there's negative stuff, you start talking yourself out of it. No. He was good here, maybe not there. That's kind of why I played the whole wait and see thing with Matt Patricia, because I was like, I just don't know. I've grown up a little bit since then, but Michigan fans never grow up, so they're going to stay in the state of, oh my gosh, he hired the water boy. It's over. National champions. I mean, it's just it doesn't matter who they hire. They're going to think it's a brilliant move.
God, you sound just like Portnoy right there.
He looks like him too.
No, don't be mean, Bart. There's no need for that.
Sorry.
I wish I had his bank account.
Beck to me is a good hire, not a great hire. I think he'll work well with Wittingham for what he wants to do. That being said, I think the first thing he's got to do is go in and try to secure some of these players. And without having a relationship with a lot of these players, I don't know how good of a job he's going to be able to do. Is he going to be able to keep Underwood in the mix? Is he going to be able to keep their receiver Marsh in the mix? Is he going to be able to, to me, I think I'm with Corey. I think there's got to be a wait and see thing, because I feel like, again, good hire, not a great hire. He's not someone that players are coming there for, at least not yet. So I'm not worried about him. But I think it was a good hire.
I'm not impressed by Jason Beck. I'm not. He's not. I like it, to me. You have to prove it to me first. Mm-hmm. This is a different animal in the Big Ten than what you had in the Big 12, Brad. It just is. And that's not me hating on the Big 12. That's just the reality of it. There was an adjustment period for Jim Knowles when he came over from Oklahoma State here to Ohio State. There will be an adjustment period for him. And here's the thing. A lot of people talking about he's bringing over this Utah. What's going on with Chris tonight? He's just like out of here. You blowing your nose, bro?
When he doesn't agree with you.
Oh, he's eating. Oh, he's coughing, got phlegm. Okay. We're all sick here, by the way.
I'm
anyways,
sick in the mind, so.
Everybody here's sick in the head. I agree.
There is this. That's why. There is this. Thank you. There is this belief that he's bringing over this Utah culture. Mm-hmm. I get it. I'm not going to dive into all of that, but I will say this. Michigan has a very, very different culture that he's going to have to break. Okay? And it's not just they're right now they're like, "Oh, hard-nosed, tough. We're going to win in the trenches. We're going to run the football. We're going to be tougher than you." There's another part of this culture that's going to drive this man nuts. It's the elitist. It's the pompous, arrogant, we are Michigan, we are better than everybody else attitude. He's going to have to break that first, and you mark it down. I guarantee you there will be players leave. There will be players who leave that roster because they are not going to want to give up that attitude because it's who they are. So if he's going to come in there with a hard nose, grindstone, we're tougher than everybody else attitude, sure, there's going to be some Michigan players who are going to stick that out and they're going to want that. There's going to be some who are going to run. Marsh is gone. I think he's gone. I think he's chasing the money. He's a Southern boy. I think he's good as gone. And if you talk to a lot of Michigan people, and I've listened to a few of their shows, they think he's gone too. They think he's already. So you're already losing your number one target. But they're like, we're going to pull from Utah. Are you? And is it that going to be? Is that equal or better talent? I don't know, man. Just saying.
I think I believe in Carson Beck more than I do Jason Beck.
Ooh. Well, we'll get to Carson in a minute. Jay
What about
Hill.
Beck the musician?
Jay Hill is coming as the defensive coordinator. He was DC at BYU for the last 3 years, and he was a head coach at Weber State, or Weber State, whatever, how I pronounce it, Weber State for 9 seasons there. He's 50 years old. He's not a spring chicken. Pretty good defensive coordinator. BYU's done a very good job defensively the last few years, although they gave up quite a few points in the games that mattered the most. But a step up in talent, I guess you could say. But again, Michigan fans drooling over Jay Hill as their defensive coordinator. Let me say this. I don't think the defensive coordinator was your issue, guys.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was pretty good. Bart, your impression of Jay Hill as the new DC on Wittingham staff?
Well, this is the first time hearing it, so I've never heard of the guy. But obviously, Whittingham wants coordinators that he knows, he's used to. I think the bigger concern is recruiting. These guys don't know anything about Ohio football, Michigan football. They're West Coast people.
They're specifically Utah people, too.
Yeah, they are.
Specifically.
They don't have the relationships with high school coaches. It's just, I think you'd be more worried about that. And if it screams bridge more than anything, it's like, oh, I'm going to bring my staff that knows nothing about recruiting around here. And for 2 or 3 years, let's go at it and then get you somebody that's good. But I think either one of these coordinators, I think more of the offensive coordinator, I think if Wittingham does good, he's probably the heir apparent to keep it going if they do good. I don't think they'll go out anywhere else. But defensive coordinator, like you said, I don't think that was a problem. I think he'll be fine. Just like I said, it depends on who you get in the portal, how much money they have to spend in the portal, and who you recruit. You could be the greatest coordinator in the world, but if you don't have the players, it's not going to get done.
Yes, RDCB, Tony Alford is being retained.
Anybody? What about Kerry Coombs? Any idea about him?
He's gone.
Is he?
I don't even think he made it there. I literally think he got off the off ramp and turned right around and head back down to Cincinnati. What I think he did. Corey.
Well, now we know he's not serious if he's retaining Tony Alford. So here's the thing. I'm starting to wonder if they're like starting a Mormon church in Michigan or something, because it's like what they bringing everybody over from Utah. Are they gonna? Is that how they're gonna recruit? It's by go by bicycle with backpacks on, shirt and
Do
ties.
you think maybe the 2-year mission trip that you have to have when you're at BYU will be to Michigan?
I think that's what's gonna happen here.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Is he good? I mean, it seemed like BYU was pretty solid defensively. I don't know about, again, with the conference they're playing in, but they seem pretty solid. Is he going to be good at Michigan? I don't know. I don't even know how to answer the question. Again, they probably think he's literally Bill Belichick reincarnate with Nick Saban right now. I mean, they probably think he's the greatest thing ever. Right now they're on message boards looking at BYU and what they did to teams. Like, hey, these are pretty good offenses that they slowed down, man. I think this guy's for real. That's what they're doing on message board right now. That's what we all do as fans. I know I just said that about Jason Beck, but it's like, what do you say? You don't know how good they'll be when they come to, like you said, a culture, Eric, that is a complete wreck right now. It is a dumpster fire in AAA up there. I'm taking what you said, Eric. I'm taking it seriously. It's a dumpster fire in AAA, and these guys from like Mormon country are coming in, and it's literally that meme, the GIF with the guy bringing the pizzas into the apartment building, and everything's on fire. There's people swinging from the ceiling. It's nuts. How long is that going to take to get them, uh, fixed? I don't know. I like Wittingham. I think these are solid hires. Who knows how it's going to work with that culture up in Michigan.
Yeah. There's been a couple questions about Mormon, and I am not Mormon, so I do not know all the ins and outs of that particular
I was just making a joke, guys. I don't mean anything by it.
I will say this though: Michigan has a very large, not what am I thinking of? My goodness, I had a complete brain fart. I want to say Buddhist, but that is not what I'm wanting. Muslim.
No,
Jiminy Christmas.
Yeah, Muslim.
They have a very, very large Muslim population in Michigan, and so I don't know. I don't know how those two are going to get along, but I'll say this: I like the fact that Kyle Whittingham is true to his religious beliefs. I respect that in anybody. And that might be one of the reasons why, in all honesty, he was chosen for this job, because they might need someone with a good spiritual background. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Chris, what is your take on Jay Hill?
Again, it's a wait and see. I mean, this guy was a very good defensive coordinator against mid-tier Big 12 and Mountain West teams, but what is he going to be against actual competitive football teams, Big 10, SEC, teams you're going to actually face in the playoffs, should you get there? I don't know what he brings to the table. I mean, the BYU teams look decent, but when they faced a playoff team like Texas Tech, they got slapped around, not once but twice. To me, I think solid hire. Can't say good hire. We'll have to wait and see.
I think, Eric, I think the new rule, that 2-year sabbatical or whatever they call it for the Mormons, I think they're going to implement that at Michigan, but you can't date an assistant for 2 years.
Oh my gosh, Bart, you just had to, didn't you?
I think you have to be there 2 years before you can date an assistant. That's just the way it's going to be. So
there was a tweet out there that said he only follows 5 women and they're all fully clothed, so we're good.
What wasn't it? His wife, his daughters, and his daughter-in-laws, or something like
basically.
that. Yeah.
Actually, you're missing the point.
Oh,
If the program was run under the old school rules of the church,
Chris,
it wouldn't have been an issue with all the extras.
Let's just not go there. All right,
all I'm gonna say is I know what side the toast is buttered on. That's all.
All right, let's talk about the weather. I think it's really nice out today.
Yes, it was very nice out today. We had Florida weather here in Ohio. Thanks for bringing it with you, Corey. Let's move on. Let's get ourselves out of trouble here.
Quickly.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, guys. So we're gonna jump into Miami talk, man. And let's just go right into the Jeremiah Smith Miami fans and that whole thing. My gosh, again. I have seen some of the funniest stuff on social media from Ohio State fans coming back on Michigan fans. My favorite was, man, you guys are really vocal for a fan base that don't even fill up half your stadium half the time. I thought that was really clever comeback. But here's the deal, man. Miami fans are just loud right now about 2003, about this game, about Bain, and about this defensive line, Carson Beck, J.J. Smith, who basically he tweeted out the demon emoji. Did you guys see that? That's all he did. And then he said, "Man, the Miami fans are in my mentions a lot about 2003." Like literally, how old was Jeremiah Smith in 2003? Anybody want to take a stab at that?
He wasn't born.
Negative.
He wasn't born yet. So it's funny that they're coming at him with something. He's like, "Guys, I wasn't even born yet." Bart, let's start the crack open this Miami stuff, man. Have you dealt with this fan base at all?
Why would I? I live in Ohio, and I'm an Ohio State fan. Um, but I did live through the 2002 national championship and loved every minute of it. But it's my point. Like Michigan, they think they're relevant again, and they coming out of the woodwork. It's like if the Browns go to the Super Bowl, they're going to fill their stadium every week. That's what it is to be a Miami fan right now. It's like they're going to find so many people. But they're going to bring everything out against Jeremiah that he's not loyal, he's not a Miami person. And I actually saw this. I would like to see what your guys' thoughts on it. But Jameer Brown, was it? Is that from Dayton? Is that who we're getting? Eric?
Oh no, you mean yes.
Yeah,
The wide
yes.
receiver from Wayne High School, Jameer Brown. Yes.
He wore a Michigan shirt at one of their 7-on-7s here recently. And they said, "Oh, he's going to Michigan. Ohio State's never going to get another good wide receiver again." And I think it was just trolling to the 100% because didn't he have an Ohio State tattoo already?
He's not only is he fully in with Ohio State, the dude went to bat for Ohio high school kids when it came to NIL and took the OHSAA to court. So,
okay,
this kid is Ohio as Ohio gets, man.
Well, he benefited from most from my NIL. Let's get that right. But so they're just saying, hey, they're getting Jameer Brown and they're getting everybody else. I watched that. I think I watched it with you guys, the Louisville game.
Mm-hmm.
Louisville dominated them defensively. Carson Beck was just throwing that ball all over the place. And if Louisville could do it, I can't imagine what 4 weeks off for Matt Patricia is going to do to Carson Beck. They're going to line up. If you take that run away, making Carson Beck beat you. And there's no way in heck he is going to beat you. You load the box and let him throw it. But the thing of it is I'm seeing predictions like 28-25, all this other. It's like Michigan's not going to score the 20s, people. I don't know who they think they are. They could barely score 10 against Texas A&M. But yeah, they're going to be loud. And I've seen more replays of that 2002 national championship game than I have in the last 10 years. But that's all they have to live on. So,
Corey.
All right, let me speak as a former Floridian who's been to Miami a few times. You couldn't pay me to live in that pile of crap area of Florida. It is literally a have and have not. There's an extremely great amount of rich people who live in the nice part of Miami. And in the other part of Miami, they have bars on the Burger King. Okay.
That's to keep me and people like me and Eric out.
We went to the...
Give me a Whopper!
Okay, fair. They may make good decisions after all. I went to the Orange Bowl. The Clemson Ohio State Orange Bowl in Miami, and we went one exit too far. And Chris knows where this is going. We were like, well, let's get something to eat, because we're hungry and we don't want to spend $800 on a hot dog there. We pull off the exit. I'm looking around. Everything's caged off. There's fences everywhere. There's like a single Cadillac and a freaking abandoned parking lot, and then. We pull up to the Burger King, we're getting something to eat. There's bars on the windows, and I'm kind of making the point with the guys like, can we not eat here? I don't care. I'll pay $18 for a hot dog. I just don't want to get shot. And so anyway, I think we ended up leaving, but yeah, it is not pretty there at all. There's a great area, and then there's like a holy crap, I'm in a different world. And so when I see these guys like Tony's like, oh, he came here to defend the 305, I'm just like, would you shut up? My goodness, you are so like attached to this just city that's not worth being attached to, for one. And so you say Jeremiah Smith betrayed the three. No, Jeremiah Smith came to the school that puts first round receivers in routinely. He isn't there to just protect the namesake of a city you think is something it's not. Jeremiah Smith made the best decision for him. In fact, if you were real fans of the 305, you'd be happy a kid got out and actually is making good on himself. And you'd be rooting for him. Actually, it's in fact that those fans are the losers who are ridiculing Jeremiah Smith for doing what's best for him. For crying out loud. And quite frankly, why would you want to piss him off is beyond me. Because it's like going to Michael Jordan and making fun of his mother before a basketball game. Like, what is wrong with you? How stupid are you? So, Miami fans are the biggest crybaby fan base on the planet. They take the cake. They're worse than Michigan. They're worse than Tennessee. They're worse than Penn State. They're worse than Gator fans, which I had to deal with a ton of those down in Central Florida. So, I have never, ever encountered a worse fan base than the Miami fan base. They think they are something they haven't been in close to 40 years.
I'm with Corey on this. The Cryami fans, absolutely the worst fans in college football. You're out here, it's 2025, and you're crying about what happened over 20 years ago. You're still crying about a game that you lost fair and square. One that you want to call out because of a questionable call that we never should have even gotten to. We should have never even been close to that. That game should not have gone to overtime. We had a play where there was a catch out of bounds that was called incomplete, and on the same play, the receiver's being held. That would have been a conversion, and Ohio State could have ran out the clock. You're out there saying everybody knows Miami won the title. Ohio State was gifted a ring. Jeremiah turned his back on us. Bull! It's all bull. It's revisionist history by a bunch of crybabies. And if you look at the score, and we'll start with 2002. Look at the score. 31-24. Game's over. Ohio State won. They're the champs. Legit champs. Shut up. Stop your crying. Jeremiah, just like Corey said, they should be proud that the kid got out of there. Hell, if I'm Jeremiah Smith, after the way they've treated me, I wouldn't even claim Miami as my hometown. I would start telling people I was from Columbus. You know, the game wasn't earned, it was stolen. Jeremiah did what was right for Jeremiah and Jeremiah's family, just like Angelo is doing, by the way. For them to be crying about this at this point is ridiculous. You know, you've got a game coming up in 3 days against the defending national champs. Try living in the present. Try focusing on the now. Because if you think you're going to go in there and your two fabulous bookend defensive ends, which are good, their defensive ends are good, but if you think they're going to go out there and single-handedly win you that game, you better think again. Because you couldn't even get past Louisville or SMU, which doesn't have half the talent on their roster that Ohio State has. Miami fans need to get a grip, stop crying, and focus on the inevitable, which is another Miami loss and another quarter century of irrelevance at the hands of Ohio State.
You know, Eric, that speech was like, that was my daughter telling me. I keep on bringing up my high school days over 35 years ago, and she says, Dad, live in the now. We can't believe you were skinny and playing basketball back in the day.
Okay, Uncle Rico.
I know, yeah.
That's what it is right there. It's Uncle Rico.
It is.
Man, if I could go back to 03, I bet I could throw this football over that mountain. Carson Beckby, I'm going to throw this football over that mountain.
So Miami fans are the Temu version of USC fans, is essentially what they are.
Good point.
They are fair-weathered fans, except they're not even USC fair-weathered fans. Okay, I kind of look at Miami as here's my following analogy to the Miami program. Okay. They've had some success. They've gotten action. They got action at a truck stop. And they also picked up syphilis, gonorrhea, and everything else at the truck stop, too. That's Miami.
Did they pick up anything from Michael Irvin?
There you go.
Do they sell those things at the truck stop?
Syphilis and gonorrhea?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, they do.
I need to lose some weight. That's that way you do it.
That way you can get your Sky Rizzy. Inside joke, everybody. Okay. Inside joke.
Okay.
That's what I think of Michigan's program. That's what I think of their fan base. Now, I will say this: make sure you watch tomorrow morning's preview of the Cotton Bowl that we're going to have here on our channel. We actually have the One Good Miami podcast, a part of the College Huddle. It's called Miami Nights. Two brothers and one of their friends. And Jimmy comes on, and him and his brother. I've had them on the College Huddle before. They are really good dudes. You will enjoy their perspective.
Eric, before we go on, to know what Eric and Bart think of Miami, I want you guys to go back and count just how many times they called them Michigan. That tells you what they really think of Miami right there.
Did I say Michigan?
You both did a lot.
Well, you know what's on my mind.
I'm sorry, Chris. We're not as perfect as you and stuff like that.
Nobody can be.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, good point.
Tyler just pointed it out too. Eric, you mean Miami? Yes. Yes, I mean Miami. You're all right. You are correct.
Let's just say that both those fan bases can be intertwined, because I think Michigan would do the same thing as Miami's doing right now.
They cry a lot too.
Yeah.
They're easily confused. I get it.
Sorry, Ken. My bad. So I am still getting over my cold and being a housewife for my lovely dear wife, who is on day number, what is this? I guess day 7 since her heart attack. So doing well. So she's in the chat. Everybody give a shout out to the pod mother there in the chat for surviving a heart attack on Monday and being a 44-year-old mama with a stent in the Widowmaker. You know how weird it is to hear doctors and nurses talk about the Widowmaker in front of you, and you realize you're the widow? If that were to happen, like, that's just a weird feeling.
You didn't take your shirt.
I hope it's one I never have to experience.
No kidding.
You didn't take your shirt off in front of her, did you? 7 days ago.
What?
Well, she had a heart attack. I'm not sure how.
She came across that picture of you at Baker's, buddy.
Did they?
It was too much for her to handle.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was, guys. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. We got more Miami talk for all of you. We have new merch just in time for the most wonderful time of the year. Get your OHIO podcast t-shirts, hoodies, and hats, and more, thanks to our partnership with King Kong Bart and his printing company in Bucyrus, Ohio. That's right. You can now rest assured that when you purchase merchandise from the OHIO podcast, it is being printed and shipped right here from the Buckeye State. And even better than that, you can financially support your favorite hosts. For instance, if you want to support Mika, you can do so by purchasing her Illuminati merch. 50% of all profits will be shared with each host upon payments. Get your new OHIO pod merch by clicking on the link below this video, the link provided on our YouTube channel, or by visiting our website at theohiopodcast.com. Just click on the store link and it'll take you straight to our new online store. So what are you waiting on? Help support your favorite Ohio State podcast, your favorite hosts, and share your Buckeye pride all year round. OH! Hey, Bart, there's a message for you in the chat from Farah about an error message that she was getting on the website.
Okay, I'll look at it.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, moving along to the second part of the show. Let's talk about this game in the Cotton Bowl, guys. This is Cotton Bowl game number 5 for Ohio State. They're 3-1 all time before in their previous 4 visits. The last visit was last year against Texas, 28-14 win over the Longhorns. This game feels like we could be getting Oregon 2.0 from the Rose Bowl a year ago, we could be getting Indiana from 3 weeks ago. Like I don't know which way this thing is going to go. And there's a lot of questions that need to be answered that unfortunately we're not going to get the answers of until the first quarter of this football game on Wednesday evening. Biggest storyline, obviously, Brian Hartline is not going to be calling plays. Ryan Day will be doing the play calling. How different does that look? How similar does that look? If it's similar, is that a bad thing for Ohio State? All of these are questions that are going to be answered right away. I think it boils down to one thing, and I hate to keep it simple, but it really is this simple. If our offensive line can keep Julian Saint upright and keep Miami's pressure from affecting the passing game and affecting this offense, I think Ohio State wins. I think they can win big. But how does that look, and what's that going to be like? That to me is the story of this game. Bart, break down this game from your perspective, and what are some of the things you're looking for come Wednesday night?
Well, offensively, I think you can scheme against a good defensive end. I watch Miles Garrett every day, and of course, Bain is not in Miles Garrett league, but he's a great player. What you want to do is just take him out. You could run right at him, let him go up, get upfield, and let him take himself out of the play. Let them try to rush your quarterback and run a screen. Um, but if you're going to be long developing plays where you're putting your tackles on an island against this, you might be in trouble. So you can scheme things. Crossing routes would be great, but you've got two of the greatest receivers in college football right now. I think our problem against Indiana is we let a 5'10" guy take Jeremiah Smith away. Let him go, let him eat. You put it up there. Julian Saint has a heck of a long ball. Um, so I think you need to scheme away from the defensive ends. Let them take them out of their game. Uh, Defensively, you take away to run. You take away the run, you win. And I think I have utmost confidence in our defense that will put our linebackers in the right position, and I don't see them scoring more than 14 points. Um, but in a nutshell, you stop the run uh, and you take away their defensive ends. Uh, it's a 24-point victory, I think.
I definitely agree that stopping the run is the key. Mark Fletcher's a really nice player, and he runs really hard. I'm kind of curious just to see what they do this game because they're not going to have to use Arvell as a spy. They've used him a lot as a spy. I'm curious to see if he can actually get up in the gap and hit the run game like we kind of need him to this game because I don't think you're going to have to worry about back beating you with his legs too much. Can't really beat you with his arm either, but so he's good at handing off. So yeah, I think you stop the run game, you force Carson Beck to beat you. I think you're going to see a lot of frustration though, like little frustrating seam plays. I think they put their receivers, they like to run him across in that garbage route, the in the middle of the field. We got Sonny and Arvell, which provides a substantial advantage to us versus what other teams can do because of their length and their physical ability, but be curious if they're going to try to rely on little mesh routes, little crossing routes, things like that, just to get those speedy guys running. Um, but I think you'll see a lot of little frustrating plays here and there at times, and the defense will have a hard time getting off the field at times, but not necessarily letting them score. Uh, I wouldn't be shocked by that at all. On offense, help Philip Daniels and pass pro. I don't care how you do it, how you scheme it, you chip them, whatever. Philip against Baines scares me. I think Austin can hold his own on the left. I think he'll be fine. Not to say that the other guy won't get pressure. I think he's a very nice pass rusher as well, but I think Austin's obviously more suited to handle it than Philip is. I kind of agree with Bart. Run at him, punish him a little bit. Put the strength of the line on that side. Put Will Kazmarek on that side. Put Bennett Christian on that side, and pound him a little bit, and you'll slow him down as the game moves on. But that it's kind of like having a receiver blocking all day and then expecting his hands to be fresh in the fourth quarter to make big catches. So it's like that same concept, but in reverse against a defensive end. It's a little bit smaller. See if Bo Jackson can put a little hurting on him on that side. But that being, help Phillips somehow. And I agree, Bart, 100%. Don't do long develop. That's where we screwed up against Indiana. I felt we were trying too many long in the first half, especially trying too many long developing pass plays. then Integra and Phillip could not give Julian the time. And I'm seeing Integra in practice running light drills. They say he's not going to play. I still wonder if that's the injury's a little overblown and they just kind of want to go in a different direction finally, and they're trying to protect him a little bit in the media. I don't know, but I'm very curious to see what happens if it's going to be Van Sickle, probably Van Sickle, or Padilla. I'd rather see Padilla, but if it's Van Sickle, I'm really curious to see how the offense moves with a different guard in there, and then maybe it helps Phillip to know he can trust his left side to then get a step on Bain on the pass rush. It'd be interesting to see how that affects that, but yeah, definitely keep him off of Julian. And I say will they continue to slow with Brian Hartline not calling the plays? Are they going to continue to slow the game down the way Ryan Day likes to right now? It's very curious because I remember in the Indiana game when they ran that little hook pattern to Jeremiah Smith. They've run that a million times with Ryan Day calling the plays out in the red zone there, and it was covered and it didn't go anywhere and it was incomplete. And people were hating on that play. I was like, that play has worked a million times for Ryan Day, but it felt like it was just a go-to desperation type call. It's worked for me in the past. I got the best receiver in football. But will Ryan Day have the play sheet in his hand all game? They say he's calling plays. I just kind of wonder if he lets Tyler Bowen get a crack at the play calling a little bit because that's what he did at Virginia Tech. I don't know. Does it distract from Ryan Day's ability to keep the team on focus and on schedule against Miami? How much is that going to impact it? Ryan Day, last couple of years as he was a play caller, was a little clunky at it because it's a lot of responsibility on his hat. I'll be interested to see that. But it's interesting to say out loud in public, I do not trust Hartline to handle the responsibility of calling the plays and concentrating on his head coaching job. He's essentially condemning Hartline for what he did against Indiana by doing that. It's interesting that came out that way. Remember when Tom Herman took the Houston job, Urban still trusted him to call plays. Ryan Day is saying after that Indiana debacle, we gotta figure something else out. I'm gonna have to get more involved in the game planning and the play calling. So that'll be interesting. Are we gonna be how frustrating is it going to be at times with Ryan Day calling the plays? it's going to be the end. That's why I think the game will be a little closer. And I think I could see a 24-17 type game for Ohio State, just because I think there's going to be some clunkiness. Miami's going to be fired up, and we're the favorites, so they're playing with house money, even though the Josh Pates of the world and the Kyle Hurds of the world are saying that Miami's just a different animal for Ohio State, and we're not the aggressor and we're not tough. I hope they're playing that in the Woody, right? Well, they're on their way to Cotton Ball right now, but I hope they've played that in the Woody. All the talking heads saying that Miami is the best chance to upset somebody this weekend.
Miami has zero chance of upsetting anybody this week. I shouldn't say zero chance, because if Ohio State goes out there and their offensive line plays like crap and Miami gets pressure and we start turning over the ball, then yes, they could be upset. That's the only formula by which Miami can win this. And I'm not going to rehash the whole preview that Eric and I did earlier. I'm going to tell you, I believe we see a different animal. I don't know if we'll see quite what we saw last year, but I think we're going to see close. I think Ryan Day is going to come out aggressive. I think that I don't think he ever had complete confidence in Brian Hartline as a play caller. I think he gave him the old KISS playbook, the keep it simple, stupid playbook. And that's what he called out of all year. Ryan Day's an innovator. Ryan Day's an architect. Ryan Day's going to come out there and I think show us the offense that we're used to seeing prior to this season. You know, he says that this team has another gear that they can turn it on whenever they need to. Now they need to. And Eric and I argued about this in the preview, that they should have turned it on against Indiana, and I agree with him. But I also think a point to be made there is Ryan Day's NFL mentality. To him, that was the last game of the regular season. It wasn't the Big Ten title game. This is the playoffs. This is when it's time to turn it up, and I think he does. And, I mean, if you look at Miami defensively, I think they're good against guys that'll be bagging groceries next week. But this is a team that gave up a lot of points. And if you look, they gave up points to some bad teams. I mean, they gave up 24 to a very struggling Notre Dame the first game of the season. I think we can all agree. I think if those two teams played now, as much as I hate Notre Dame, I can agree Notre Dame probably beats them right now. They gave up 22 to a Florida State team, which was not a good team. Yes, they beat Alabama, but they were not a good team. Gave up 20 to SMU, 21 to Louisville. Guys, this defense, I think, is I think it's good, but I don't know if it's elite because I think it's fabricated on a lesser schedule. And then you go to their offense, and let's call it what it is. We got offensive line concerns. Their offensive line is butt. There is no other way to put it. It is total butt. Our defense should be able to really get penetration against that defensive line. And if you pressure Carson Beck, he's going to throw interceptions. It's what he does. I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to tell you what I picked in the preview, but I have a very large margin of victory for Ohio State.
Uh-oh. Chris's blood pressure is going up.
No, it's actually my blood sugar that's going up.
Where's Lisa's comment? I'm 100% with Lisa. If Ohio State's got another gear, like Ryan Day claims, we better see it. We better see it Wednesday. Again, I'm not going to rehash what Chris and I talk about in our preview. Again, just want to encourage you all. 10 a.m. tomorrow, the preview drops. Make sure you check it out. It's a great Cotton Bowl preview. I'm very proud of this preview. I think we did a really good job of breaking everything down for all of you. Another shout out. TG's been talking about this for a while, and I did some digging. She's 100% right. I asked Jimmy today on the preview. I said, as a Miami fan, what's the biggest threat that you think Ohio State presents to you? Or in other words, what weakness are you afraid we're going to exploit? He goes, our corners aren't very good. And our best corner is probably not even going to play because he's hurt. Uh-oh. That just screams to me, give our quarterback an extra second, we win this football game. If you cannot stop Cardell Tate and Jeremiah Smith, we're going to blow your doors off. We are going to blow your doors off. So this is interesting to me. I think you're right, Lisa. If Ryan Day says we've got another gear, let's see it. Show me. And if that's the case, then I'm going to be right back here Thursday asking this very question. Why did it take us an entire season and losing a Big Ten championship game for us once again to be able now to do what we just saw?
I just explained it to you.
I know you did. I disagree with you, Chris.
Well, it's okay. You can be wrong.
It's a winning formula. I mean, you get through the freaking regular season unhurt.
Since
unpaid.
When did the Big Ten championship game become a regular season game? Explain that to me.
When we went to a 16-team or 12-team
when we can win the national championship and not have to win the Big Ten championship, who cares?
Exactly.
If you had to win a Big Ten championship to win a national championship, I will care. Other than that, when the committee says that does not matter if you win or lose, that you're going to be in the playoffs or not, then that's when I stop caring. But we didn't know they had a great offense last year. We thought we had a decent offense, but did we know the offense they had in the playoffs against Tennessee?
Yes.
Oregon?
Okay. We're gonna get in this debate, aren't we, Chris? This is just what we're gonna do, I guess, tonight. All right. I agree with that. But here's the problem. Was that Ryan Day, or was that the offensive seniors of that on that offense saying, "Get out of our way and start calling aggressive game for us because we can do this"?
Is that for Bart, or are we?
That's for anybody. Go, just shoot it.
Well, I told you when we talked about it earlier, Eric. This team has the leadership. Yes, they don't have as many seniors. They still have leadership. Jeremiah Smith has come out as an outspoken leader. Cardinal Tate, quiet leader in the locker room. You've got guys like Max Clare, who, he's new to the program. Kazmarek, guys who are on that offense who are leaders. Hensman, I think, has established himself as a leader on that offensive line. You've got guys on the defense like Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles, who were there last year when this all went down. They are capable of taking the reins and saying, listen, it's time. Unleash it. I know you think that the senior leadership matters, but I'm here to tell you, it helps, but it doesn't matter what level you're at as far as grade wise. You can have a freshman who can come in and be a great leader. It's all about the person. And we have the people. So I'm here to tell you that, yes, we have the leadership who can help push that along. And Julian Sand has been telling anybody who will listen, I mentioned this earlier, anybody who will listen, he's been telling them, guys, the game's slowing down for me. I'm ready to take this to the next level. Let me do it. I'm telling you, you're going to see last year's playoff Ohio State when this thing opens up, and everybody's going to be shocked.
I guess I don't understand why everybody thinks that we showed everything during the regular season. We didn't need to. Most of them were blowouts, first of all. Texas, he just ran a vanilla game plan, and after he won that, he says, okay, well, I know we can win this style. There were some games he opened up passing the whole time. There's games he ran the whole time. He was just making sure everything is good for this moment. And why would you do it? There was not one game other than maybe Indiana. I don't think he didn't care about Indiana. He's not going to show him anything. I guess I don't understand why people think that we had to show something during the regular season against like the likes of Minnesota, Illinois, Grambling State. You don't have to. You still won, and you got where you needed to get. I still think we're going to be a lightning, and I will be very, very disappointed if we don't be aggressive like we were last year.
Okay, I was about to come to you, Corey, because Nick put this in the comments. The doctor looks like he's about to say, how does that make you feel?
And how does it make you feel, Bart? I just saw that one comment. They have the better defense, wide receiver, one offensive line, running back. Oh, they honestly believe that. Oh, I thought you said you were saying that. I was like, oh, come on, dude. They might believe that. I mean, that's you, like you said, they're delusional. Boy, I'm gonna be the negative Nelly, I guess, on the show tonight. As Chris would say, it's okay if I'm wrong, but I don't think we're gonna see too much different than what we've seen all year. I think last year was a different circumstance. I think he had a guy he completely trusted in the OC position, and I feel like he trusted Chip Kelly to run the thing, and we changed our run scheme a little bit. We went from zone to more gap running, things like that. We were more aggressive in the pass game. We got over the top of Tennessee and Oregon for that matter. I just don't have faith that with Ryan Day having to completely alter the course of the play calling. I think in part because the Indiana game went so bad. I remember I was reaming people because everybody was crying about the play calling, and I'm like, well, if you can't tell me what you would do different or what should be the prior, what is it? As like, then don't. I mean, I don't know. I thought it was more the offensive line was just not that good, but apparently Ryan Day agrees with the fan base there. The play calling wasn't that good, girls. He wouldn't be taking it over. And I just don't. I think Ryan Day, when he's an offensive coordinator, is one of the best play callers in college football, or all of football, possibly. But as a head coach, I never thought he was like the killer of a play caller against good teams that he had been in the past when he just had the sole responsibility as a play caller. I don't know if I trust him as a head coach and play caller going into the playoff. I don't expect the same result as what we had last season because of it. I think he will try to be more aggressive at times. I don't think it necessarily equates to success all the time. I think we'll see a lot of the same kind of sludge it out against a good team, and I think we'll have a close game, and it'll be frustrating at times, and we'll win, but it will be like, well, we probably should have won that a little more. Missed opportunities, make mistakes like we typically do in big games. It seems sometimes, except with the exception of last season, which is what blew my mind that we played almost perfect football for the most part after the Michigan game. I don't know how he views the Big Ten title game. I think Chris might be right. Maybe he views it as another regular season game and he goes into the playoffs with a different mindset. But we've just had so much. We haven't had that. Have we had that come to Jesus moment in the locker room this year? Have we had the coaching staff have something to come up with against the next team we're playing? I mean, I will see, I guess, on Wednesday, but I just don't have faith in it right now. I have faith we'll win. I just don't have faith it's going to be some pretty dominant win. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I come on this program. We're doing a live watch, obviously. I hope at the end of the live watch, I'm saying, "Wow, I'm an idiot." I have no problem saying that.
28 points.
Can I call you that now, Corey?
Absolutely, do it.
Well, you would have given the same speech after the Michigan game last year. It's like, well, I just don't believe in Chip Kelly as a play caller. I don't do this. I don't do that. Ryan Day is a heck of a coach, and he learned the formula last year. If he's not, then I don't believe in what Ryan Day is doing as a Ohio State coach if he doesn't do the same formula.
And TG, I agree. That's why, but that's the problem. Is remember Urban Meyer did that with Tom Herman and let him call the plays when he took the Houston job before the playoffs started. So obviously he saw the Indiana game and says you can't. That's what I think. That the Indiana game was the catalyst for him saying you can't do both. You just can't.
I'm going to push back a little here, Corey, because I think the biggest problem is I don't think Ryan Day has trusted Brian Hartline as a play caller all year. I don't think that he's ever had the trust of a Kevin Wilson or a Chip Kelly. He's never had that trust. I think he's looked over his shoulder a lot over the course of this season. And I think what happened was Hartline, up till the Indiana game, had done enough to pull games out, and that's why he hadn't had this happen sooner. And I think that when he lost the Indiana game, that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back.
I think you're right, Chris. And I think after the Michigan game last year, it was either you're going to win the national championship or you're not going to be coaching Ohio State anymore. It was I don't care anymore. Mm-hmm. Chip, you do what you do because right now I'm a dead man walking. And it worked. And I think he had to have learned from it. But I do believe, I kind of believe a little bit what Corey is saying is like, we all know Ryan Day is a play caller. Do we fully 100% trust him? I 100% trusted Chip Kelly last year. But I do say what Corey's saying, but I can't see him going any other different than being aggressive.
There is and I've got some comments starred that we're going to come back to here to wrap up this show. This is a great conversation. I really enjoy this. And I'm glad, Corey, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one because I don't want to be like John the Baptist, a voice in the wilderness, crying out in the wilderness here on this one. Let me pull open this comment real fast. Our good friend Lisa here. We didn't need to show everything against crap teams. That is 100% true. Mm-hmm. But I think some are worried, and when she says some, that's me. Some are worried when we need to flip that switch, hope that we will be able to do it. So I don't know if any of you have ever done electrical work, but if you don't do the electric right and you go to flip the switch, ain't nothing happening. Now, Buck Vader, our insider, and Tyler's pointed this out in the chat, has told us he's being told they are practicing up tempo. They are running about 10 to 12 seconds faster per play than they did in the regular season. The theory behind why we were so slow in the regular season, it's twofold. Number one, run less plays, more fresh at the end of the season. Number two, it took Brian Hartline longer to get plays in as a first-year play caller. Don't know if that's true or not. Possibly. Kind of makes sense. All of that being said, I just don't know if this team has the chemical makeup. Chris thinks they do. I don't know if they do. To just flip the switch like last year's team was able to do. I just don't know that. I've got to see it first. I want to see it. I want to see us blow Miami out of the water. I would love nothing more than be up 21-0 at the end of the first quarter, and Corey and I are over here, and we're having a great time on the game watch, and we're just celebrating like we did last year against Oregon, because I remember going into that Rose Bowl, Corey, after we blew out Tennessee and go, man, are we going to do this again? There's no way we're going to do this again. And then boom, we did it again. It was like, oh, this is a different football team. This is a different football team. I want to see that happen again. I'm concerned. I don't know if this team can. That's my concern. Sure, Jeremiah Smith can, right? Carnell Tate can. They did it last year. But we've got freshman running backs. We got an offensive line that I'm questioning their mental makeup right now after getting absolutely embarrassed in the Big Ten championship game. We have a quarterback making his first CFP start. There's a lot of question marks here, guys. A lot of question marks. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Eric, couple questions here. We had the same question marks. We had the same question marks last year. Our offensive line sucked. Will Howard's never been in the CFP before. Everything. We've been here. We've done that. And these people who are playing now got to experience that last year. Do you like, two questions. Do you like Julian Sayre better than Will Howard? And second of all, do you like Chip Kelly better than Ryan Day?
As a play caller?
Correct.
Okay. Do I like Julian Sayre better than Will Howard
right now, though?
That's a trick question. I like Julian Sayre as a passer better than Will Howard. I like Will Howard's leadership better than Julian Sayre right now because he just had more. He was more seasoned, more experienced. He had been in the battle longer. I think Will Howard's ability to, in the huddle, basically calm the troops was just a little bit more seasoned than what Julian Sayre has been able to. But Julian's younger. That just comes with time. But I like Julian's arm better than Will Howard. Yeah, of course I do. As far as a play caller, I like Ryan Day when he was an OC as a play caller better than Chip Kelly as an OC. I like Chip Kelly OC as a play caller better than Ryan Day head coach as a play caller.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't think you can compare the two. Honestly, it's not apples to apples when they're in the positions they're in at the moment. Yeah, I agree completely with what Eric just said. Ryan Day is a play caller, as an OC, is one of the greatest play callers maybe in the history of the game. He is ridiculous. I mean, he's the geek who likes to sit in his office just coming up with stuff. But when you had the head coach, you just got so much more responsibility. And honestly, Ryan Day, when he gave up play calling, has been a bigger winner as a head coach than when he was as a play caller and head coach.
Let me throw this out to you guys then. You guys like to talk about how much Ryan Day learns from his mistakes. Are you saying now that he can't learn from his mistakes and be a good play caller as a head coach?
I'm saying that everybody makes mistakes. And just because he's learned from them doesn't mean he can't make other mistakes. And right now he may not have any other recall or any other procedure he thinks he can go to. When Tyler Bowen was mediocre at best, play caller at Virginia Tech, and then Brian Hartline hasn't been a great play caller this year. He's been up and down.
And Keenan Bailey's never done it before.
Yeah, where's he going? I mean, if he had another course, maybe he'd go. Maybe if Kevin Wilson were still on staff, he'd go, Kevin, you do it. But I think right now he would trust himself more than what's currently on staff.
But do you not trust that if he didn't think that he could do this, that he would have gone out and gotten somebody to call plays during the playoff run?
In the middle of
the end of the season?
No, I don't think.
Why wouldn't you make a move for Chip Kelly? And I know we've talked about this, but why wouldn't you have made the move?
Are you even able to add staff
6 weeks?
Point?
You can.
You can. Why would you not have said, Chip, come on for the 6-week, 8-week playoff run? It bolsters your resume for the next job you want.
It's possible he already asked him. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that because I don't know. I mean, I don't know the procedure for something like, okay, after the end game, we stunk. Will Chip come be the play caller on a staff that's already full?
And don't you think that's Ryan Day waving the white flag if he were to do that?
No. He's making an executive decision. If he didn't think he was the best play caller for this team, I don't think he would be calling the plays.
He might be the best play caller for this team as it currently stands on staff. Yeah.
But I mean, if he thought that Chip Kelly was a better option, if he thought that Kevin Wilson was a better option, he would have reached out to one of these guys and said, hey, come in, work for 6 weeks, get your ring. You know my offense. Just come in and do this.
But
I don't agree with that.
Okay, no, I don't agree with that either, because he's not called plays, not worked with this team all season long. This is a completely different team, and that's my entire point. Remember what this team said. These aren't my words. These are the words from this team, this roster. Tear down those national championship banners. We didn't win nothing. This is a completely different team. And now everybody's trying to tell me we're just going to flip the switch because it's just like last year's team. We don't know that.
It's actually, honestly, when we get a backup quarterback and everybody says, remember Cardale, it's like, that was like an exception. That happened one time, and you can't say that everybody, next man up for every, I mean, I'm sorry, Eric, but next man up for everybody because Cardale did it once. Yeah, exactly.
But again, Eric, you're quoting, take this banner down. What do you expect them to say? Oh, please keep it up. We've won everything.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's a different team.
It's not a different team.
It is a different team, completely.
It's not completely a different team.
8 starters on defense to the NFL.
Yes, you lost 8 starters on defense to the NFL, and yet your defense is playing better than it did a year ago.
100%.
2 starting offensive linemen. Okay, one went to the NFL. The other one, I don't know what he's doing right now.
Went to hell, whatever. We don't know.
Okay,
it wouldn't.
2 starting running backs in the NFL right now, tearing it up. 1 starting wide receiver who you cannot question Emeka Egbuka's leadership in that room, dude. No. That dude is a leader. He brought so much calmness to Jeremiah and Carnell and Brandon Ennis and all those guys. He was the quiet
leader, as is Carnell Tate. He was the quiet leader, just as Carnell Tate.
Will Howard. I mean, you can't just. And then Ryan Day. We know when to put our foot on the gas. And then you guys are trying to tell me it wasn't against Indiana? That wasn't the time to do it?
It was not.
That is not Ryan Day's mindset. Ryan Day has that NFL mentality. The last game of the regular season didn't matter to him.
Did we get a better draw?
Right or wrong? Right or wrong? It didn't matter to him. Go ahead, Bart.
No, we got a better draw. That is the ultimate goal, is winning a national championship. We didn't win a Big Ten championship last year. We were all crying like, oh, we're not going to celebrate this after because we didn't win the Big Ten championship?
No, of course we didn't. We celebrated the heck. I got a trophy right there.
Yeah. Well, and when Corey says, oh, Brian Hartline, maybe wasn't a great play caller, but how many plays did he actually – was he able to be creative with his play calling? Were we vanilla most of the year? Say, hey, I only got so many plays I can call. But we got to understand that Brian Hartline would still be the offensive coordinator right now if he didn't take that job. So all this other stuff like Ryan D, he thinks he's the best. I think Brian Hartline would still be the play caller in the tournament right now.
I don't know that he would still be the play caller. I think that the one thing Eric said that I do believe is 100% right, I think Corey reiterated, or vice versa. I think that Brian Hartline not being a play caller is a direct punishment for what happened at Indiana.
I mean, I think it showed. I mean, obviously, I think it showed Ryan Day that, like, dude, you can't. I mean, Brian Hartline was probably in the locker room. We're arguing a million hypotheticals right now, but I think Brian was probably in the locker room. No, I can handle that, and this, trust me, I got it. And then Indiana happened. He said, no, you can't handle it. Forget it. We saw what happened. I think Brian Hartline definitely was distracted by quite a bit, but. That being said, again, as the staff currently stands right now, I think Ryan Day is probably the best option. I just don't love the option. What are you two doing?
Okay, so they're getting ready for their cage match. Pay-per-view. Buck Vader's in the chat, and I got to reach out and ask Buck Vader to research this for us. He may already know the question.
He knows already.
Did Ryan Day ever fully trust Brian Hartline as a play caller?
Not as much as he would Chip Kelly, obviously.
But Chris, your logic is, since the Indiana game, he doesn't. Why did he do against Chip Kelly against Michigan last year then? Your
Great.
logic doesn't make sense. If he,
Great
because he trusts Chip Kelly. He always has trusted Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly was his mentor.
Well,
but
based
your
on
logic says because he had one bad game, now I'm not going to trust him. Chip
based
Kelly
on
had a terrible.
But if he never trusted him all year, Bart, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I don't think he did, but that doesn't mean that he's not going to say, "Hey, Brian Hartline, you're not going to call plays in the tournament in the
Well,
national."
again, it's always apples to oranges because Chip Kelly didn't take a head coaching job in the middle of a run. I mean, so
No,
who knows what would have happened last year? And who knows what happened this year? I agree. I don't know what happened. If Hartline would have stayed play caller or not if he didn't get a job. I agree. I don't know. Maybe Chris is right. He didn't trust him all year, and that was a straw. Like, dude.
And we got our answer, actually. Buck Vader.
Yeah, go ahead, Chris. I saw you go to put it up. Go for it, buddy.
I don't know. He didn't trust him as much as he did Chip Kelly, but he also trusted him enough to be the play caller.
Did he trust him enough to keep recruiting, and that's why he didn't want to lose him?
I think the next the next step for him was to become the play caller. But I mean, that being, obviously you don't want to lose Brian Hartline. He's a great coach and he's a great recruiter, but you got to let him advance or he's just going to move on anyway. And so we didn't know he was going to take a head coaching job after 1 year. I don't think Ryan Day knew that either. But again, we're forgetting Chip Kelly has like 40 years worth of reputation as a play caller versus Brian Hartline's 1 year. That's why he trusts Chip Kelly even after a bad game. Whereas Hartline, one really bad game where I don't know how Ryan Day was reacting on the sideline. I've heard he was laying into people, but it's possible Ryan Day said, "Look, enough. You're going to cost us a run in the playoffs if this continues because you're trying to do two things at once and you're not good enough as a play caller even when you're totally focused on it, let alone trying to build a staff and build a program down in South Florida while you're trying to be our play caller." And so, right now the best option probably is Ryan Day. But it's not the greatest option ever is Brian Day as a head coach, but it's not the worst thing ever either.
RDCB, great question. It is radio silent over there at the Woody.
Yeah, I know.
The one person who might know right now is in the chat, and that's Vader. So Vader, if you want to put any names in there, if you've heard anything, or if you've heard nothing, let RDCB know. That's a great question.
I think Tyler's got a good point, by the way, about Brian Hartline. I think he's probably a better head coach than he is play caller.
I think he will be.
I agree, and I'll tell you, Urban Meyer was never a coordinator.
Exactly, no. Just a great head coach.
But we all have to say why Brian Hartline was the offensive coordinator to begin with. We didn't want to lose him.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
What was the thing that he was going to be next year? Because they say, "Oh, we're turning on Penn State. He's going to be the associate head coach and have more power and everything." It's because we didn't want to lose him. I think he was grooming him for a position, and when it came real, I think Ryan Day would have taken over without really telling, us people. But I think he would have had more control over play calling in the playoffs. That's the reason Brian Hartline's the offensive coordinator was because they didn't want to lose him.
Oh my goodness, this has been a great conversation. Let me get to a couple more comments and then we'll get out of here. Who's starting right guard Wednesday night?
Van Sickle.
Tegra.
You think Tegra, Bart?
No, I just want to make Corey mad.
My guess is Padilla if he's healthy. If he's not, it's Van Sickle. That's my guess.
Van Sickle didn't do that bad against
No, he didn't.
He played decent.
But Padilla's got more game reps. He's a year older. There's probably a little bit more trust.
It'll be
there.
one of those two, and I'd be fine with either one of them. I think I'd prefer Padilla, but I'd be fine.
Well, we do because Padilla wants you all to listen to the OHIO podcast. He told us such, didn't he, Chris?
That's right.
Yeah.
Do we have the video?
I do on my phone.
Yeah, Tegra. Tyler. That's why I think that the idea that Tegra is as injured as they're saying is, I think it's just to protect him. I think they're benching him. I really do.
Tyler, part of the problem against Indiana is we didn't have a game plan prepared at all offensively. You could tell. I saw Ryan Day's eyes. He looks extremely prepared. And I think some of the it might have been Tyler in the chat, maybe some people in the chat who talked about after the Indiana game how upset he was and things of that nature. Obviously, he changed his mind because he first said that they weren't going to make a change at offensive coordinator, and then he changed his mind. So I'm going to be incredibly interested. We'll see who gets that interview, who gets to write that book this year. a behind the scenes book, and we get the nitty gritty details on it all about 9 months down the road, but extremely interesting.
You know how many
Scott
times,
Workman,
Eric, in the past we've heard they go out and they lay an egg in a game and, well, we had a great week of practice. I don't know what happened. I mean, we've heard that a million times. I don't care
Sure.
what somebody looks like, what they say the practice is. I just don't care. Go out in the game and show it.
I can't tell you how many times my basketball team, the night before a game, sucked at practice.
Yep.
And then we played like world beaters the next night.
It makes no sense. I agree.
It doesn't. It makes zero sense, but it happens all the time.
Yep.
Basketball especially. Baseball is a little bit different. You keep making the same mistakes in baseball, you're going to make them in a game.
Mhm.
Can you imagine? Could you imagine the list of the who's who? They could name whoever they wanted to for offensive coordinator. I mean, you've got Jeremiah Smith coming back next year. You've got Chris Henry. You've got Julian Sand. You've got Bo Jackson, all in their second and third years.
You might have Austin come back.
I mean, I think Marcus Freeman could be an offensive coordinator and do a really good job at Ohio State.
Oh, man.
Oh, look at that face you're getting.
And I would root the heck out for that
Hey,
guy.
Marcus Freeman's going to make a great coach for the New York Giants, by the way.
I agree.
There's a lot of smoke there right now, boys, just so you know.
Yeah.
Kennedy's worried.
Do you think you'll get paid $10 or $11 million a year?
Ooh.
12.
Man,
I was trying to get you. You can't count to 11. I was trying to get somebody.
Yeah, you were giving. He was giving you that opportunity.
He was.
Hey, I think.
You know what? They're going to offer him 12, and he's going to take 11. Is what he's going to do.
I think they're going to offer him maybe 6, 7, or somewhere
around there. Dude, get out of here. What
Chris
are
knows
you?
what I'm talking about.
All right, I'm done. I'll see you all
No
later.
kidding. Scott Wortman, what makes this year a successful season? Is it already a success?
No.
No?
You got to win the Natty at this
Are you
point.
kidding me? We're Ohio State. It's natty or bust for us, and we're so disappointed if we don't win it.
You went undefeated you went undefeated in the regular season, Eric, and
didn't win the Big Ten title if you don't win the playoffs.
Yeah. So we've only had 8 successful seasons in Ohio State history?
Yes.
No, but I mean, there's an expectation.
9.
There is an expectation there right now. After you go undefeated through the regular season, yeah, you lost the Big Ten title game, but you're in the playoff. You're the defending national champions. There is an expectation when your only loss is to the number 1 team in the nation that you need to be back there. You need to be in that championship, at minimum in that championship game. And I believe, in my opinion, a successful season is one where you win it.
Oh man, hey, Jay Carp, good to see you, buddy. Here's an interesting name. Buck Vader just put a name out there for y'all.
That'd be a great hire.
Joe Moorhead.
I would love Joe Moorhead.
Man, do you know how many great screen passes we'd have if Moorhead was the head coach?
You know what? I'll tell you one thing. Moorhead makes a lot of sense for a guy with Julian Sands.
It does with his skill set.
I'm going to keep my mouth quiet.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am.
I don't believe you for a second.
That's why I got married. So.
Bart's thinking of t-shirts.
Oh, that's how you
already.
got married.
Bart is thinking of Moorhead t-shirts.
Already got it printed.
Yep.
All right. It's between 6, 7, and that, I think.
All right. Don't forget, tomorrow at 10 a.m., our preview drops. It is awesome. It is going to be. It's the best preview out there. I'm just telling you straight up. I'll fight anybody who doesn't agree with me. Tomorrow night at 6:30 live, right here on the OHIO podcast. The Schrockstar and Knoxville Nate are sitting down with American sports writer extraordinaire Jeff Snook. Tomorrow, 6:30, right here on the OHIO podcast. If you don't know Jeff Snook, you need to know who he is. This is Urban Meyer's go-to to write his book. This man is one of the best sports writers in all of America. I got to meet him in person before, and he just carries himself differently, man. He is top-notch, top-level. So looking forward to that interview tomorrow, so don't miss that. And then following the interview, we're going to go right into the call-in show. So tomorrow is going to be a busy day here on the OHIO podcast. Preview 10 a.m., Jeff Snook interview with the Strock Star and Knoxville Nate at 6:30. Collins show at 8 o'clock. We're going to gear up and get ready, man, for the Cotton Bowl. Get you all ready to go. Don't forget, Wednesday night, 7:30 kick, right? Yeah, 7:30. Right on our Patreon channel. That handsome fella up there in the right-hand corner, he is the online voice of Ohio State football. The doctor will be making house calls Wednesday night. You're not going to want to miss it. Come be a part of the game with us Wednesday night over on Patreon. Watch the game with us, man. It's gonna be great.
Are you saying that Corey is the Paul Keels of the internet?
He's better than Paul Keels. Paul Keels.
We know how much he loves Paul Keels.
I liked Paul Keels till I learned that, and I was like, dude.
I was never a Michigan fan, so I got that on Paul.
Yeah, exactly.
He could be Paul Heels.
He heals them.
Oh my God, Bart, that was bad, dude. I don't know. I'm losing faith in Bart right now.
It's getting late, guys. Come on. It's either 6 or 7.
No, there's no excuse for that.
Whoa, Ken Taco Hut's going to be at the game. Yo, bro, scream for us, man. That's awesome. That is cool, dude. Congratulations. Yeah, another reason why you do not want to watch the game, you want to watch it with us, it's on ESCCPN, just so you all know. Also, Tuesday night is the Buckeye Lounge at 8 o'clock Eastern, and so you're not going to want to miss that, okay? Lots of good stuff here this week. This is just going to be a great week here at the OHIO podcast, so make sure you're locked in, tuned in, ready to go, and be with us every step of the way. Fun show tonight, guys. Very good show tonight. Thank you so much for the spirited debate. And we have a new nickname, guys. Paul Heels. Oh, Lord have mercy. It's stuck.
Paul's Heels.
It's stuck. It's the wrong heel, though, I think.
We need to put that on his banner Wednesday night. So
Paul Heels. If you wear a priest outfit,
oh my God,
I will pay you to do it.
I don't have a priest outfit, man. Dang it.
Amazon, 24-hour shipping,
well,
baby.
Then what money am I making? You're gonna pay me as much as I pay for the suit.
Hey, if I have your address, there might be a priest outfit show up on the front door tomorrow.
Nice. Eric, could it be a Mormon getup?
Oh, that's Michigan. Sorry.
Oh, gotcha. You're a couple sizes bigger than him, right, Eric?
Yes.
Okay. I just went. Now that would be great if you went some in one of your priest outfits to him, and he's like swimming in this thing.
I gotta have the Pope hat though when you're doing the game. That's what we gotta have though. That would make it a Buckeye
white
Pope
collar.
hat.
So just to clarify, we've now offended the Mormons, the Catholics, and religions of all denominations.
It would not be the OHIO podcast if it wasn't us uncultured swine.
I could wear a burqa. There, we got everybody now.
It's all fair game at this point, guys. It's all fair game. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hit that like button if you have it on your way out. We'll see you all tomorrow at 10 a.m., 6:30 Eastern live, and then the call-in show tomorrow night. Good night. God bless. And you all know what to do. OH!
Ayo.
Ayo.
Go Bucks.